Happy Friday, everybody. It's hashtag FAQ Friday live from my office in the Lake District. And this week's frequently asked question has come from IHG systems have been restored fully following the cyber attack that they received earlier this month. And it's actually opened a can of worms with a lot of people in the industry saying, well, if IHG can be attacked, get a cyber attack, how can we avoid getting the same? And it actually caused all the reservation channels and other applications to be significantly disrupted. I myself were staying at one of the properties when I went to do the Great North Run earlier this month, and I found it quite interesting as well what they were going through. So I've been asked, how can the industry avoid hackers? Well, there are many areas that you can avoid, and I'll go through quite a few different areas that you need to check in. Check what you're currently doing and check how you can avoid and keeping protected against cyber attacks. So you've got to use cyber security measures such as firewalls, network monitoring, anti-malware, traffic filtering to protect against the common threats. But it is important, and the one thing that we've learned from IHG systems being attacked, it was a couple in Vietnam, and they said that, from what I could gather, the hackers actually accessed the systems by using a password QWERTY1234, which, when you look at it, is a bit crazy to say the least. But really look at secure passwords. It's really important. Important protective measures such as, really keeping devices and systems up to date, keeping your security up to date. A lot of people just put that to one side because it's a bit irritating when you're working flat out, and it probably would take too long to update your system or restart when you've got lots of tabs open. Don't have lots of tabs open. And compartmentalize networks. See how you can make sure that if one system goes down, it doesn't affect everything else. Regular backups, and we were all at fault of not doing this, should I say. I myself had a bit of an issue a couple of months ago when I lost everything off my laptop. All my work was actually saved on the hard drive, and I lost the hard drive, and I've tried everything to get it back up and running, experts in the industry, and it's actually disappeared. So that has made me realise that backup is very important, and this is what happens. And use designated hotel equipment only for designated purposes. It's interesting because there is still some people who are actually working remotely, and what do they have access to, and do they use malware and anti-spyware, and do they keep it updated? All your systems, how can it get accessed? And when you are working remotely, are you on a public Wi-Fi, or do you have your own designated Wi-Fi? All of these can be avoided, but don't access personal or financial data or your systems, your hotel systems or hospitality systems, by using any public Wi-Fi. Have a policy and procedure in place for your teams. Actually communicate. This is one thing that not many businesses do. Communicate, especially if someone's working remotely, but communicate with all of your team, and educate all your employees on the risk of what's happened. Use IHG as a big example, and many others have been hit by cyber attacks as well. So actually train your team on best practice and turn off anything you don't need. So if you're not using an app, or if you're not actually on a certain tab, come off it. Choose your apps wisely and make sure they are secure. So many people don't actually know that, and they open all sorts of tabs and Another thing that in the past when we got, a Trojan, it was because somebody opened an email that looked legit and it was a scam. So make sure that any email that comes through is actually authentic and it's legal and it's the real deal. If it looks dodgy, don't open it. Contact the person direct. Do not email them back, but contact the person direct and say, have you emailed me this? We see lots of things on mobile phones where people are getting messages saying that the family members or the friends are struggling for money. Can you help them? And some people are being caught out with that. So really look and really think, would this person send this for me to open? But double check, it's certainly worth it. And use a password, lock code or encryption to access and make sure it's not easy. So don't use QWERTY1234 as IHG did, from what I've been told apparently. And prioritize password security. Make it really difficult so that you don't even know. I use an app called LastPass, which actually helps me keep my password secure between me and my team. But have a look at the different ones that would help you and your team, and how you all have your individual way of getting in, and you can do it without actually sharing the password itself, but by giving them a launch facility. And be skeptical about links and attachments and check before opening. But the key is trace or erase. So please, if you even just put those elements in place right now in your business, you'll be far better at making sure that you are doing everything you can against cyber attacks. And obviously, if it happens, communicate with your guests, communicate with your customers, let the ICO know if it's a data breach. But you've got to keep on top of it, because hackers are changing all the time. They're coming up with different security ways of getting in. But certainly look at how you can be your best secure self in your industry. So I hope that's helped and supported you. As always, here to help and support, Alison at ajlakes.com. Happy Friday, everybody. Take care. Thank you.